How would you like to have an oracle that tells you whether your book is going to be successful or not? And how would you like to have that before you spend thousands of dollars on advertising and promoting your book, or even before you write the book? Seeing into the future is not possible, but we can get a pretty good idea based on real, statistically significant data, and that's what I'm going to show you how to do in this video. I'm going to show you how to know ahead of time whether your book has a good chance of winning or if it's a stinker. Does it have potential, or should you stop now before even writing the book? For those of you who don't know me, my name is Dorian. I've made over $1 million in royalties from KDP. That's over $3 million in sales. And if you want to see screenshots of my account, I do show them in my earlier videos, so you can have a look there. I've been doing this for over 10 years and I've accumulated a lot of experience. I've tried a lot of things, I've had a lot of failures and a lot of successes. And even in this age of AI, where book production is almost as easy as pushing a button, human behavior has not changed. And the method that I use to judge my books in advance is based on human behavior. And because of that, I have found the key to knowing whether a book will be successful or not in advance, even before I write it. Let me show you with an example. Let's say that you want to write a book about how to work from home using your computer, and you have some ideas for titles, but you're not really sure which one to go with. Let's look at these 3 book concepts: Broadband White Sand, Millionaire Chameleon, or The 4-Hour Work Week. Which one of these do you think has the highest potential? Which one is a winner and which one is a loser? They're all very different, and it's hard to know in advance which ones have the highest potential, but all of them could easily be used for essentially the same book. The content of the book would be the same, but the title makes it seem like a different angle or a different framing. This is called positioning. Positioning is usually communicated by the title and supported by the cover. So out of these 3 different angles or positions, or hooks as I like to call them, which one is the winner? This one, The 4-Hour Work Week, and many of you already knew that, of course. But for those of you who didn't, this book became a huge bestseller and made the author, Tim Ferriss, a celebrity. This book was also the start of an entire cultural movement. It helped people understand the possibilities of leveraging remote work and offshore arbitrage before it really caught on with the public. You probably heard the word digital nomad. That came from this book. If Ferriss had chosen any of these other titles, then he might have had a very different life. He might have completely missed the trend and missed the boat. Choosing the right title was a huge decision he had to make. So how did he know which title to go with? That's hard to do in advance. So the way he found this title was through testing. He tested his titles to see which one got the most engagement, and then he picked that one. I actually ran my own test of these titles yesterday to see if there might be any change, because after all, today it's 2026. And here are my results. They clearly show that the title he chose is still the winning title. In fact, according to the evidence in this test, which is statistically quite strong, if he had chosen this other title, Broadband and White Sand, this book could have been a complete failure because it got less than 1/3 the number of clicks that the 4-Hour Work Week did. Think about that. Doing one little test prevented him from making a fatal mistake, and it showed exactly which title was the one with the most potential. And this is something I've been doing for many years. In the early days, I got frustrated with launching books that didn't sell, and I wondered, is there a way for me to test my book on Amazon without actually going through the trouble of producing the book and getting reviews and advertising it? Because, it takes a lot of time and energy to do that properly. But there's no way to do that. There's no way to cheat. You can't just upload a book title and a cover without an actual book behind it on Amazon. And even if you found a fast and cheap way to do that, you still need to get reviews and spend money on advertising and promotion. And it usually takes at least a few months before you really know if the book is going to be a winner or a dud. So I started looking for ways to test. I tried PickFu, I tried SurveyMonkey, I tried a bunch of others, and they were not quite what I needed, or they were too expensive, or took too much effort, or they were just kind of janky. So I ended up making my own platform for testing. and I did that about 7 years ago. I started using it for all of my new books, and I learned a lot of things that I really would not have guessed. I started testing my covers, and most of the time the cover that I thought would be the winner was actually not the winner. It was either a loser or in the middle. But in any case, it got way less clicks than the winner did. And then after seeing what the popular response was, I realized that I was way off and that the market's opinion was far more important and accurate than my own opinion. After all, they're the ones who are buying the book. So over the years, my testing platform developed and got more sophisticated. And then I started letting my students use it. And I saw over and over again the same pattern. My students thought one cover or one title was the winner, but the public said something different. And that showed me how incredibly important it is to let the market decide. Because the market is what buys your books. You have to give the buyers what they want, not what you want. So here's an example to illustrate this. Let's say that you own a restaurant and you really like putting ketchup on your cornflakes. I know that's really gross, but maybe that's your thing. And if you tried to sell that to your customers, you'd lose your business. Choosing your own cover is a little bit like that. It's like putting your own preferences above the preferences of your buyers. Well, obviously, you don't want to do that. So the goal is to find the book concept, that's the title and the cover, that attracts the most people, that gets the most engagement. In other words, that gets the most clicks. And that's what I learned how to do. Over the years, I've tested thousands of concepts and titles and covers, and I've refined my validation process to 4 steps. This is my secret sauce, by the way. This is what I teach to my students, and this has made a huge difference. Step 1, we need to think about positioning. Maybe you found a market gap and you think it's a good one that people want. But I've got news for you. We don't know what the public wants until the public tells us. So my first step is to test the positioning. I call it a hook, but you can call it positioning or angle or framing or even USP. The point is, it's a way to make your book seem different than the others in your niche. And I found that that's the first step. After we know what the best hook is or the best positioning from how the market reacts, then we can craft the title. And that's step 2. And I've learned that testing a title is actually a really good idea. Look at these examples of title tests where only 1 or 2 words changed. How would you feel if you had chosen the loser instead of the winner? How would you even know ahead of time? In this case, the winner got 5 times as many clicks as the loser, and there was only 1 word that changed. This is a statistically significant result, by the way, which means that there is a high probability that it will show up the same way in the market. This example is from one of my students, so I can't show you the actual title, but the results speak for themselves. If my student had chosen the loser title, then these bad results would have cascaded into the entire life of the book. The book would have been saddled with a title that repelled people, that did not attract clicks. And you cannot change the title once you publish. It's fixed, it's permanent. So that would have been a fatal flaw. If the winning title gets 5 times as many clicks as the losing title, don't you think that makes a huge difference to the book's potential? To me, it does, and I think that's really obvious. After we arrived at a winning title, we tested the subtitle, and the same thing happened. So that gave us our title and our subtitle. No more guessing. Now we're ready for step 3. Step 3 is test some cover ideas. And the same thing happens. Usually one cover is significantly more attractive and more interesting to people than the other cover ideas. And many times I would have been dead wrong about which cover would be the winner. Actually, it's kind of hard to see which cover is the winner until after you see the results. Now, we don't always get a winner, and that's fine too, because we can learn from the comments that people make and improve the covers, make some changes, and test again until we have a clear winner, or at least until we're confident that there is a cover that really stands out. All right, that brings us to step 4, and this is what I call a market simulation. This is where I show my winning cover against my direct competitors. I mean, that's what your customer is going to see, right? Your customer is just going to see a page on Amazon with your cover and title versus your competitors' covers and titles, and of course pricing and reviews. But if your concept is strong enough, those don't really count so much. So I take the cover that I crafted and that I'm pretty sure is the best option that I could have come up with, And I pit that against my direct competitors in a market simulation test. I mean, I could do that directly on Amazon, but that's the long and expensive way. That's the 3 months and a couple $1,000s way. I much prefer to do this in a controlled environment where I can learn and where I can get real insights from real buyers that I can ask questions to, and where I can do it really quickly and very cheaply. And my goal is to get at least as many clicks as my competitors. And if I don't, then I can go back to the drawing board and fix either the positioning or the title or the cover. And that is so much better to do here in this controlled environment where I can ask questions than out there in the big bad world. This is so much faster and so much cheaper than writing a book, producing it, launching it, getting reviews, advertising, promoting, just to know whether the book will be a success or not. Here's another thing to consider. If you stack these together, the positioning, the title, and the cover, then you can end up with a huge difference between a losing book concept and a winning book concept. There is no way to guarantee a book success, but any logical person can see that a book that has a concept and a title and a cover that each got way more clicks than the losing options did is probably going to do a lot better in the market. Real people have validated its potential all along the way and told you, yes, this is the version of the book that we like the best. It's the most attractive. It has the most potential to get clicks. So is this an oracle? Is this a crystal ball? No, there's no such thing, but this is as close as you can get to it. If you run an experiment and out of 100 people you have a high confidence in the statistical results, you can confidently extend that to a large population. That's how statistics work. That's how professional card counters beat the house in Las Vegas. That's how insurance companies make so much money, because they use statistics to tip the game in their favor. That's why this works. So let's get back to Tim Ferriss. If you didn't already know this, he's not the only one who tests. Here are a few examples of extremely successful authors who test. I'm sure you already know them because they're in the Amazon Top 100 all the time. Ramit Sethi, I Will Teach You to Be Rich. The titles he tested were Personal Finance Playbook, Master Your Money, Smart Finances for Smart People. Clearly, he went with the winner. Ryan Holiday, he tested a bunch of them. Turning Trials into Triumph, The Way Forward, Stoic Strength, Overcoming Anything, The Art of Resilience, The Power of Adversity, and he went with The Obstacle is the Way, which is a fantastic title, of course. Here's another one, Mel Robbins, The 5-Second Rule. So that's what she ended up with. And take a look at this. It looks like she had this idea of the 5-second something, the 5-second decision, the 5-second solution, and a few others. And then she finally ended up with the 5-second rule, because testing told her that was the winner. These authors didn't get rich for being lazy or uninformed. They did the necessary work to make sure their books would succeed. They tested their titles, they tested their covers, and they proceeded knowing that statistically they had tipped the game in their favor. They had the best possible version of their book with the most potential in their hands. Now, to put a cap on this point, you know who else tests? Major publishers and almost any successful business. If you have thousands or millions of dollars on the line, then you can't guess. You can't shoot from the hip or go with your gut. You need to validate with the market. You need to test. And that holds true for publishing, especially self-publishing. Believe me, most of the successful KDP publishers that I know test. They validate. That's the only way to get out of your head and be able to see what the market wants. So the reason I'm giving away my secret sauce in this video and showing you exactly how I use testing to arrive at successful book concepts is because today I'm actually opening the doors of my own testing platform to the public. Today I'm going to make available to you my private oracle that I've been using for my own book catalog and with my students and with some early beta customers. This is the platform that I developed. It's taken me 7 years to get to this point, and now it's ready for the public, for you to use, to help make sure that you launch books that are proven to get more clicks. Over the years, I've learned exactly what questions to ask to get the most useful insights from people, and what the best process is to arrive at a winning book concept. And I've put all of that into this testing platform. It's created by me, a publisher who's made a pretty good amount of money from KDP, and it's for other publishers like you. I've designed it to specifically test positioning, book titles and subtitles, book covers, and even author names, and also to perform market simulations. This is my dream platform that I've wanted for 7 years. It's incredibly easy to use and actually priced better than the competition. I really want this to be a resource for the community. The new platform is called booktest.io. You can run a book test today. You can go there today and use it to test your titles or your covers or your positioning in Amazon's biggest markets, the USA, UK, Germany, France, Italy, and Spain. If you're launching a new book in the US, then test in the US. If you're launching or translating a book for the UK, German, French, Spanish, or Italian markets, then test there in those countries. You want to know what your buying audience thinks and feels about your book. Surveys can be an amazing source of information and insight if they're done right. And I set up my platform so that not only do you find out which cover or title was chosen, but we also gather the reasons why people chose that option. We also ask if they're Amazon customers, and we also collect opt-in emails from people that are interested in your book. That alone can help you start growing your email list. We also include a free AI analysis of your results as part of the service. It's completely free. And you can choose your audience demographics, gender, age, income, that kind of stuff. And you can choose between 25 and 100 participants. That's usually enough to get a pretty definitive response. If you'd like to try it, there's a free trial that shows you how the process works. To be upfront, it provides fake results, but at least you get a feel for how this thing works and what to expect. Then if you want to use it, just click the button and you can turn it into a real survey with real people. The cost is very simple. It's $1 per response. Boom. No add-ons, no membership, no tricky pricing. In Europe, it's €1, and in America, it's $1. To kick off this launch, here's a coupon that you can use. It's good for 10% off for the month of April. The coupon is April 2026. And you can use that as many times as you want during this month. Also, to help kick this off, I'm giving you a cheat sheet for how to arrive at a winning book concept. It goes into a little more detail than what we talked about in this video. And this is the same secret sauce that I've been using in my own business for years and that I teach to my students. I'll put a link to that and to booktest.io in the notes below. If you've ever wondered to yourself which cover is better or which title should I go with, then this is the best way to answer those questions. And if you've never wondered which cover is better or which title will work better in the market, then maybe you should. You might have some sleeper books in your catalog right now that just need better positioning and a better cover to really take off. As always, if you have any questions, put them in the comments below. I promise you I will respond. And if you want to reach out to me directly, my email is on my website. So thanks for watching. I hope you give yourself the chance of trying this book testing software. I really think it'll make a big difference to you. See you next time.